Hi, this is the video for July 5th. We're definitely on the downhill slide now. We've got our accounts created. We actually have one more place we want to go and create an account, and that will be posted today. It is part of a Ning. I'm going to post Skype resources, and I'm going to post some information with Skype. Um, the reservations I have with Skype is that I know that it is a widely blocked protocol and program. So I'm a little hesitant to use it. At Grundy Center, we don't block it, but I am very cognizant of the problems with it. We don't let the kids have it during the school day, and we will let teachers have it as long as I know about it. It's a bandwidth eater, and from a IT side of things, I understand the concern that many may have. So I want you to get the concept of Skype, and then the concept of a tweet up. And a tweet up is when we go to a conference, there's often a tweet up. In other words, we may meet face to face the people that we're interacting with on Twitter. And the concept that I was going to have, if some of you want to connect um, via Skype with each other, I would encourage that. And that would be kind of a virtual tweet up. Um, so that is the extent that we're going to deal with Skype and Google Talk for that matter. Google Talk is much better from a network perspective, but it is not as rich and feature filled as Skype. So um, I'm not advising you to um, use Skype for a lot of purposes just because your network people may not allow that. But if they do, and if you have a reason to use it, I would highly recommend it. I want to look at this diagram. This is David Warlick's diagram of a PLN, and if you look at it, what you're going to see is right here is the aggregator. This is your Google Reader. Okay, and your Google Reader is doing news, blogs, wikis, social bookmarks, podcasts, social media reports. All that stuff can be put into an aggregator. We use Google Reader. The learner is picking that up. The learner is then sending that back out. And see these asynchronous connections right here? Okay, sending it back out through all of these different ways: telephones, conferences, professional development, chats, IMs, desktop, Skype, virtual worlds. Virtual world would be something like Second Life, which I am not a Second Life person, but if you go to the Google and you look up Second Life, there's some interesting things going on. I was in Second Life for a while. Um, didn't find value in it, but didn't commit the time I probably needed to commit. I was a science teacher in Second Life, but I could fly. It was fun. Um, if we look at mobile phone, Twitter, social networks, wikis, and blogs, same thing on this side. On this side, it's personally maintained synchronous connections. In other words, these are synchronous. I'm talking to you on the phone. We're back and forth. Over here are our asynchronous connections where, yeah, like Twitter, I'm going to post something and somebody may read it this afternoon. They may read it right away. And sometimes I would draw, if I was David, I would draw an arrow something like this because sometimes my asynchronous stuff turns into synchronous real quick. So the idea between synchronous connections and asynchronous connections or semi-asynchronous connections. And then who are we connecting with? Family, distant professional colleagues, local professional colleagues, distance professional colleagues, family again, and contained in dynamic communities. This would be a Ning, okay, that we're going to deal with today or tomorrow, actually. So when we look at this network, where does the learner sit? Right in the middle, and there's arrows coming in and there's arrows going out. Okay, and this is the idea of your professional learning network. Now, you may have a PLC. Okay, they're Very, very common right now. So your PLC, where does that fit? I would contend that your PLC is right here. So if you think of a you're going into your PLC armed and loaded and knowledgeable. So you're going to contribute more to that PLC. You're going to get more out of it, and your colleagues are going to get more out of it. So I'm going to post probably the rest of the week, all the way through the final project today. Um, you're doing well. Things are looking good. You're communicating with each other. You're helping each other. You're doing the things that we want to see. Um, and that's a very positive sign. So hang in there. I'll probably post one more video towards the end of the, middle of the end of the week. The projects are due the 11th. Grading, boy, I don't know how fast I'll get through the projects. I will do it just as quickly as I can to get things done. I have a few tools that help me grade the discussions and so forth. And I would advise you to make sure you have your number of discussions requested, those kinds of things. And I know you're in the middle of your practice week for your PLN, so I'd like to see some postings to Twitter to our hashtag. Um, and I'm hoping that things are working out well for you with the program management and things like that that we're doing. So we had a good week last week, busy week. This week's going to seem much more relaxed. And hopefully this week you'll learn more, not necessarily about PLNs, but learn more in your practice week about your profession and how to improve what you're doing. So um, I will give one more video this week, and it was good to talk to you today.